I would not be here tonight if it weren't for the Nebraska State Fair. Now, can anyone taking creative writing class figure out from that how I got here? I bought a trick deck called a Svengali deck. Every magician has at least one. At the Nebraska State Fair, when I was in junior high, a slick salesman. I didn't have enough money, so I went the next night, watched him do it, and I had scraped together $1.05 for some mysterious reason. It sold for $1.05. I still have it. Thanks to that, I got hooked on magic, and through that I met another Nebraskan who knew magic, and he was born in Corning, Iowa, I think it was, and then moved to Norfolk, Nebraska, and kept his real name, Johnny Carson. Now, very few people know where I met Johnny Carson, but now you will be among the few. If someone should ask you on the street. Westminster Church, Lincoln, Nebraska, South Street. The big magician from Omaha and a star. Then he had a 15-minute radio show in Omaha. Johnny Carson came to the church. Two little friends of mine and I went and saw him. We went backstage. He gave us the filthy look that magicians give anybody who comes backstage while they're putting the dove in the pan. And I said, Mr. Carson, we're magicians. We were about this big. And he said, oh, that's right, great. Do you guys do cards? And he showed us card fans and one-handed cuts and second dealing. Brilliant card handling. And later, during his act, in the magic show, in the church basement, for which he got $50. A fortune then. And now, some people. And he did a card trick, and some of the churchgoers were furious. He used cards in a church. I hated them for that. And then, at the end of his show, he got back in his car, and we had been introduced by him from the audience, my two little friends and I. We felt like we were on Ed Sullivan. Here at our show, we watched Johnny glide off into the night in what I recalled as a beautiful limousine. And years later, I told him this story, and he said, the beautiful limousine, Richard, was a 38 Chevy. And it was secondhand. That's how we met. So I went on and did my magic act, and I got $20. And once I got $25 as I got better. And this is incredible. My parents were school teachers. And so I remember as a young kid, not only did they both teach, but my mother made extra money by taking in washing off people's clotheslines at night. I thought I'd try that. It's from my old night. And then I went to Yale and I didn't know any better than to wear brown and white shoes, and the white one kept getting dirty. That's enough of my Anyway, so my parents, I was mad about that. By the way, if you have a kid who steals hubcaps and does all kinds of problems, get them interested in magic, and it will save their lives and yours. The thrill of getting your catalog, your magic magazine, the thing you sent off for, Steve Cohen, Denmark, nothing like it. I saw that there was going to be a magician's convention in St. Louis, and my parents said, we're going to take you to it. I went. To make a long story even more tedious, I entered a contest and I won. Wow. I was 15, and if you look back in your old copies of the Lincoln, Nebraska Journal and Star, you'll find, you have one with you, you'll find in addition, there are 3 pictures of me in a bow tie and a crew cut holding my rope and my scissors, and it says, Young Lincoln Sharpie, Best Magicians Group Head. In my category, I had beaten out the head of the International Brotherhood of Magicians. And they hated me. My trick takes about 23 minutes. So I'll just show you the first part. So Steve's going to sweat wondering how he's going to follow this. Here at 15 is how I looked and sounded. I would say, I have here a rope. It is a rope. And you will notice that the rope has two ends, one on each. It also has something else, a center, which of course is here in the middle. Am I going too fast? If I were to cut the center, what do we have then? Two more ends, right? So we have 4 ends. Actually, they're supposed to be about the same length. It often comes out that way. And if I cut off one of those ends, having cut out the center and having had a rope with no ends and no center, until I cut this end off or just get rid of it, throw it away. What is left? The thing you've probably never seen until tonight, a rope with no ends and no center, just a rope. So we can see that it's not stuck together with chewing gum or something. Wait, see, just one 30-second addition to this. Here, would you take those seconds? That should be it. I'm just going to, we say stop somewhere? Stop. Okay, can you cut the rope where we stop? Good. Now, oh hell, I needed 2 pieces of this paper. Okay, this act is over. But what I could do is do what magicians call a beautiful move. Anyway, you're about to see a man who was a real... By the way, the great Robert Benchley said about somebody, he said he has a dreadful personality. He's the sort of man who a magician says, would you come up on the stage? He comes up on the stage. But anyway, I love magic, and when I saw Steve Cohen the first time, it was in front of this building. And this fellow came up to me, and he said, I said, get away from Kid, your father. Not really, of course. And he told me who he was, but it was a while before I connected him to the guy who was dazzling people at the Waldorf. And I finally went with Teller, Penn and Teller, by the way, he can talk. And I was stunned because I had seen great magicians. I'm old enough to have seen Blackstone the Elder, Cardini, Slidini, and to see magic again that transported me was thrilling. And that's what I saw at the Waldorf. You know, every art has a lot of crappiness. There are some people can paint, most people can't. Some can sing, most can't. Millions want to be actors, thousands are. A handful of them are great, and some are quite good. And it's always that way, the cream goes to the top. Johnny was sorry at times that he didn't continue in magic as his profession. And he showed me his treasured suitcase as a kid that said the Great Carson. I went home and I got my Marine captain stepmother's World War II footlocker and wrote the Great Cavett. Aren't we all glad? I think we should be grateful, really, that Steve Cohen just doesn't work. But anyway, here's the man at the top of that pyramid. Steve Cohen.